William Burdine. I'm taking over as host of the Real Deal Talk, the Real Deal podcast. So we've known each other for a long time. I think originally through Secret Knock, right?
Actually, before then.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we actually met at a real estate little get-together, a little meetup.
What year would that have been?
Oh, my God, it was almost 10 years ago plus.
Oh, wow. Okay. And so it's funny because we've known each other forever. We say what's up. Now you've been shooting epic fighting for a long time, but I never heard your story. Like, what got you into photography? Like, everybody uses you. Everyone wants you at the events. You're at all the cool spots. I know it's opened a lot of doors, and you've built a lot of great relationships with it. But how'd you get started?
Yeah, so it's crazy. So I started doing this. This is gonna be really funny. Like in high school, I saw these really pretty women walking into this door, and I'm like, "What's going on back there?" So I opened the door and I'm seeing all these women. They're all cheerleaders and they're working on ASB stuff. And I'm like, what is ASB? I'm in the 11th grade. I still don't know what ASB is. Turns out they're building out the annual. They're doing all that other stuff. But then I realized there wasn't a lot going on in there until all these guys started walking in with cameras. And I got interested in photography in black and white because my uncle was a photographer, loved his work, always wanted to learn photography. So I started in a dark room and printing my own things, developing my own film, rolling it all. So yeah.
What do you mean there wasn't like going in there until the photographer came in? What do you mean?
So literally, like I was trying to have conversations with the women to find out what ASB was all about. What is their story? And they just wanted to be talking with each other. They didn't want to have a guy and intrude in their
They were
space.
cliquey. They were,
Yeah, trying to avoid that word, but yeah.
Gotcha. And so that got you interested. And then what was like your first gig or your first time that you were shooting?
So the
when
weird
did you
thing
get your
about it
camera?
is it's like when you get out of that high school environment, getting into the chemicals and setting up a dark room, I mean, that was like ridiculously expensive. My mom didn't want to have it in the house at all.
Yeah.
So that just didn't happen. So I put it off for like a good, 15, 20 years almost.
Oh, wow.
I really didn't touch a camera. And when I finally picked one up, a digital camera, I mean, I paid like $1,200 for one of the first DSLRs. And it was just so expensive, but the software wasn't there. And I still didn't love photography. I mean, I loved what I could shoot, but I wasn't happy with the results. And then it wasn't until, I think it was, 2012, I was at a Secret Knock, and I was taking pictures because a lot of the content went right over my head. I mean, I just lost my house. I just went through bankruptcy. My girlfriend left with her 3 kids, so I was kind of like looking for a different direction in life. And I started shooting this event because I literally didn't know where I was going to go next. And 2 professional photographers were there, and they said, "Hey, can we see you outside?" And I thought, oh my God, I'm in trouble. So I walked outside and I said, "Hey, we're looking at some of the stuff because you handed it over to our social media people, and some of it's like really good. What are you shooting with?" And I showed them, and they laughed at me. They said, "You got to get some better equipment, and you could make a run at this." That was 2012. 4 years later, I'm still not doing it. I'm still not doing it. But I did shoot another event in 2016, and all of a sudden I got the attraction of a couple of different people. And then in 2018 was kind of my breakthrough with Eric Swanson.
Good old Swanson.
Yeah, so he literally said,
Mr.
"Hey,
Awesome."
Mr. Awesome, exactly. He wanted me with Habitude Warrior. He wanted to put me on a plane, fly me around the country, and shoot all of his events. So I did that for an entire year in 2018, and
I love
that's what kind of kicked off the event photography thing.
I spoke at one of his events in Texas. It might have
there.
been 2018 or 19. Yeah.
I think that's another place where we reconnected.
Yeah. I remember I get a lot of times usually I don't have planned what I'm going to say. And I go to an event and I just kind of fill it out and fill out the people and hear the other speakers speak. And I don't want to, the kind of fear is like, I don't want to have something planned and then someone else says something similar to what I was going to say. And then I'm like, oh, now what do I say? So I just kind of fill it out and kind of what story would the audience be interested in and then go from there. And I remember that's kind of what I did there.
Well, that's what I love about you. I mean, you have a way of rolling with whatever's going on. And you've been around so many people, so many stories, it's the relationship management that I admire about your life. You talk to so many people and you never are egotistical.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's
man,
funny because I
sure.
feel like I could do such a better job with the relationship management, but I do get that compliment a lot too. So I guess it's all relative, you know?
Yeah, but you ask questions. You're always a student. And that had me thinking, like that hit me. Between you and Greg and Eric Swanson and a few other people in my life, even our podcast director over here, always asking questions. And I'm like, but I feel like an old man because I just turned 55, man. It's like I remember when my grandfather turned 55, he was telling me everything about life. And that's kind of I've learned so much. I just want to share all the things. But I'm still finding that being humble and asking questions is the better way to get through life.
Yeah, I mean, you can learn from everyone, and whenever you think you're the smartest guy in the room, you're kind of blocked the opportunity to learn.
100%.
And so, I learned from so many people, and I've been put in that position where everyone wants to hear from me because owning epic fighting is the cool thing. How'd you do it? How'd it start? How did this? And maybe starting a recycling company doesn't sound as cool and it is not going to get the masses as interested. But I'm really interested in how you started the recycling company, what the profits are like, and how does it work as a business? Like that stuff really interests me too. So I'm always trying to ask a lot of questions. So you've been shooting, you shot for Eric Swanson, shout out to him. Greg Reed with Secret Knock, shout out to him. And now you're doing epic fighting. Yeah. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, you're killing it for epic fighting. What is the journey been like? Like, what have you been gravitating towards? Because when you're doing epic fighting, there's models, there's action. When you're doing Secret Knock, there's speakers.
Man, it's chaos.
Yeah,
it's all over the place. So I didn't know really where I wanted to hone in on photography. Like, I love shooting plants and trees and birds and macro photography, that type of stuff, but it doesn't pay the bills.
Right.
Event photography pays the bills, but it gives me an opportunity to see things from a documentarian perspective, but it also puts me in rooms that whether I feel I deserve or not, or other people feel I deserve or not, it puts me in these rooms. And I've had unprecedented access to amazing people. I mean, I've met Bill Gates, shook his hand. I've met Mr. Wonderful, shook his hand. I've met incredible people. I mean, like, my portfolio list of people that I've actually met and shook their hands is crazy. And it's not just to say, hey, we glad fisted. No, I got an opportunity to sit there and talk with them. 4 years ago, I got an amazing opportunity from the church that I attend. I got to.
You want to give them a shout out?
Oh yeah, Awaken Church here in San Diego. I mean, they get controversial stuff all the time, but I'm telling you, like, they've opened as many doors as Greg Reed has for me. Yeah. I got an opportunity to meet Dennis Prager, Charlie Kirk. I met Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, and we're in the green rooms with them, asking them questions.
That's cool.
And that, I mean, where does somebody get an opportunity to do that?
Yeah, some of my favorite people are part of that church. I really love a lot of the people there.
Yeah.
And I spoke on stage there at their what's the conference called? Why am I
Merge?
Pathfinders.
Pathfinders too, yeah.
Yeah, Pathfinders. I hosted the
you did epic fights with them.
yeah, we did epic fighting there at that. Oh, I want to do that again. I need to reach out to them and do it again.
There was a lot of talk about that going, hey, how come we're not having fights back? But now that they have that 160-acre facility.
Yeah. That was the most intense energy. Imagine you've got, I think they had like a couple thousand dudes.
3,000 people. 2,765, I think, was last year's.
All dudes. And there's a fight happen. We had we put together a couple fights, but one of them had their guy. He's there, he goes to their church. He goes to the church. He plays in the band. He sings. He can play the drums. He can play the guitar. Church kid, grew up doing it. But he can fight. And he's fighting this kid, though, who's a badass wrestler. And this kid took him down and beat him up the first round. And everyone's just like on edge, like, dude, don't stop the fight. Don't stop the fight. Second round, same thing. He gets he lands a couple shots and the guy realizes, okay, maybe I don't want to exchange hands and striking with this guy. Takes him down again. And then in the third round, he gets the knockout. And the people went insane. He jumps up on the cage and he's sitting on the cage like this. And the energy. And I remember Harvey was like, when you said we were doing something for a church event, I was like, why are you wasting my time?
He didn't get it.
He didn't get it. Yeah. He was like, I've never felt that. And Epic is known for having crazy energy. Like they're like people are invested in it. That's their child. That's their brother fighting. Like the energy there is insane. But at Emerge, 100% males, 100%. That's my guy.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Like there's that fine line. It's a parallel line right there for me because I've been at Emerge and it's like Jesus meets Spartan.
Yeah.
You got a lot of guys that want to compete on a decathlon level.
Yeah.
But also at Emerge, you've got, I mean, we were just interviewing Trey in here, and he said that he took his L from a pastor. It's like, wait a minute, a pastor is fighting an Epic? Like, what the?
Yeah.
So there's all of these weird, like, anomalies of things, but yet when you step back, they totally make sense. Why our lives are so interconnected, and I think it's an amazing thing. But at Epic, the energy that is there. I remember the first time I was asking you, like, what kind of shots do you want? And you're like, get the crowd.
Yeah.
And I was like,
people miss those shots, and the shots are so intense because the crowd is so invested, you know?
So I have this, I guess I'm known for being able to do some epic wide shots. And I do that by holding the camera up and over my head. I get a focus point, and I literally shoot 5 to 7 photos as I sweep across the crowd. And then later I stitch them all together and make everybody like look amazing. And then I play with all this settings. I'm not going to get technical here, but like some of those photos I've seen you guys post, and then it's like the back end crew says, thanks for getting this shot. We've never had these shots. We've never seen this many people packed into the room. And I was like, are you kidding me? With all the photographers there, nobody takes these types of shots.
Dude, they get missed so often. Like we have one with the fighter, like, you know, he's kind of praying, you know, they'll walk up and they'll kind of kneel down.
Yeah, I love those.
And somebody got the shot of the fighter there, and it shows, you know, like a couple thousand people in the background, and everyone was just like on the edge of their seat, standing up, doing some type of a like intense pose. And that was like 10 years ago. And I'm like, how come we don't get those shots every event? Because every event is like that, but it often doesn't get captured as well. But yeah, thank you for getting those. Where can people find you?
Oh my gosh. So the fastest way to get to me, as I'm kind of rebuilding my website and a few other things, is Linktree / William Burdine. So it's linktr.ee / William Burdine. That's Burdine. And from there, you can see all the different things that I'm involved in, and you can get all my social media and stuff like that. And you know, I'm happy to shoot weddings, events, corporate events, and headshots. That's my main bread and butter, and it's what I love to do because I get that relationship capital out of it, and I spread it amongst all the different other places that I go.
William Burdine, baby. We'll see you at Epic, 11/22, and every other one we got scheduled. We already got all 4 dates for next year. You could check us out if you want to get tickets to our next fight. It's alwaysepicfighting.com. If you want to watch the pay-per-view, it's alwaysepicfighting.com. We appreciate the support, guys, and we're on Real Deal Talk. I'm taking over for Real Deal JD. We out.